The worst thing art can make you feel is nothing. Not because the work isn't there, it absolutely is. The problem is the human brain, mine specifically. When you're moving through all of that, in heat, in crowds, with a program the size of a small novel, your capacity to actually see begins to collapse. The eyes glaze, the brain defaults, and certain work, however serious its intentions, simply cannot compete with that level of accumulated overwhelm. That's not the Biennale's fault, but it is the Biennale's reality. There is a formula. You'll recognise it if you've been here. Big objecty thing, projection on wall, some kind of noise, possibly wind being blown at you. Repeat across 40 square metres. Add a wall text that explains the artist's relationship to post-colonial memory or late-stage capitalism, and you have a pavilion. It's not bad necessarily, it's just flat, competent, present, not asking anything of you and not really giving you anything back. There was quite a lot of this. Some of it felt like a very expensive degree show. But here's where I have to be honest about something. Art is not a sport. There is no scoreboard. And some of the presentations that jarred with me landed entirely differently with people I was walking around with. The Japanese pavilion asked visitors to pick up baby and carry it around the space. Not a real infant, a weighted doll, designed to replicate the heft and feel of a newborn. The wall text connected this to birth, to the universality of new life, to the artist's own recent experience of becoming a father. I found it gimmicky, I said so. A friend I was with found it genuinely moving. The intimacy of holding something that felt like a child in a room full of strangers doing the exact same thing. It felt like to her the most connected she'd been to another human being all week. The object wasn't real, the feeling was. Same room, same doll, completely different experience. That's not a contradiction, that is the point. Then there was Florentina Holzinger's SeaWorld Venice, and I don't have a subjectivity caveat for this one. A jet ski inside a pavilion, charging through a contained volume of water. The raw physical force of it, contained within the otherwise formal, elegant architecture of the space, was genuinely shocking in the best possible way. Punk, full frontal, and a front both literal and physical. And then her performing as a bell, staring directly at the crowd. It was remarkable, the contrast between the violence of the machine and the stillness of the human body. Said something I won't fully be able to articulate for a while. That's the standard I'm measuring everything else against.
There's some really good video work here, which is normally a really tough sell in this sort of context because you're competing with things and people have so little time that they don't normally want to sit down and watch a video for the whole duration. But I think what's happening for me, part of the reason I'm responding to them more so this year round is because I think when the world is quite bleak and when inequality is so extreme, I feel more drawn to the escapism that's present within an artist's video than the kind of material physical objects of an artwork, which also double up as a luxury product to be consumed. So my tendency right now is to seek out those videos and to want to go somewhere and to be taken away to a different world, an imagined world of an artist that has sensibilities that are lighter and more optimistic than today's quite fractious and self-consuming world.
One of the quieter revelations of the week was Oriol Villanova's installation at the Spanish Pavilion, a massive immersive accumulation of second-hand postcards collected by hand, organised thematically, filling the entire space. You move through them like a strange taxonomy of human obsession. Cats, ships, the Pope, repeat. What saved it from being another repetition as volume exercise was the objects themselves. These postcards have been handled, they have patina, someone bought them, someone sent them, or didn't send them, someone kept them. They carry a life that a fabricated object cannot replicate. It also revealed something quite extraordinary about us as a species. Our compulsive need to organise, categorise, and obsessively repeat, which, now that I think about it, describes quite a lot of what I witnessed this week. The American Pavilion, Alma Allen. The show is called Call Me the Breeze. Large, shiny, gold adjacent, the kind of objects that photograph beautifully and reveal very little on a third inspection. I got talking to the young woman invigilating, extracted what I'd already suspected. The artist came from a background in high-end furniture and design objects, pieces made for wealthy people's houses. No shade, but it does make you ask the question, what do we want from art? What are we asking it to do? And what point does a beautiful object become an expensive object wearing art's credentials? I don't have a clean answer. I just think the question is worth asking. The Greek Pavilion was a tonal departure, and I loved it for that. Imagine Cyberdog in Camden. Now remove the commerce and replace it with something that felt like it was praying at the altar of queer happy hardcore. Interactive, chaotic. You could rummage through elements of the work. You'd inadvertently find yourself filmed and projected onto what amounted to a dance floor wall. It was intense, dystopian, unlike a lot of what I'd seen, completely transporting. It asked something of you, and it gave you something back. Here's what I keep returning to. The Biennale at its worst is a mirror for the art world's own contradictions. Political agendas dressed as curatorial vision, conservative choices hiding behind ambitious scale, objects that cost more to make than most artists earn in a decade, presented as critiques of capitalism. But, at its best, it is genuinely irreplaceable, because nowhere else on earth puts this much serious, ambitious, difficult work in front of this many people at the same moment. The trick, and it is a trick that takes practice, is learning to see through the noise, to find your own signal, to resist the great homogenizer that tells you what matters and what doesn't. Seek your own agency, extract your own meaning. This is not a Biennale note, that's just good advice. I'm Will Jarvis, this is Dispatches from the Floating City.